Hello everyone, how are you? Are you doing alright? You doing good? I'm doing pretty meh. I had a pretty shit day today, but it's time for Elden Ring, and also, you won't be watching this until tomorrow, which will hopefully be a better day. We're here with Neo and Typler.
Hello.
Now today, we're here to talk about one of the Shard Bearers. I think the last of the Shard Bearers that I need to talk about. I think we've talked about everyone else by now. And I've saved this one for last because I'm not as interested in her as all the other ones. She's a pretty sad character, but I'm not particularly fascinated by Rennala, the Queen of the Full Moon. She is most likely the second of the Shard Bearers that you fought and defeated. Most interestingly, the only one that you don't kill in like any respect. I know Morgoth doesn't die immediately, but he dies like right after you talk to him after beating him. And I think Rykard's technically immortal, so I guess you don't really kill him, but whatever. Not important.
The serpent never dies.
Correct. So, we first have to start off by giving a little bit of context for the Carrian royal family from which Rennala descends. They are a family of sorcerers who descend from the astrologers, who lived up in the mountains that nearly touched the sky. Um, if you're at all familiar with like modern day astrology, I think, or is it astronomy? The study of space and stuff, both, whatever.
It's
Um,
both.
the mountains, yeah, I guess. One of them is an actual science, and one of them is something that girls on Twitter use to decide their personalities. Or in the case of Elden Ring, it's used to decide the fate of the world. Um, Mountains, nice up above the clouds, away from any sort of pollution and stuff, specifically light pollution. Get a really good view of the night sky, make studying the stars and the cosmos very easy. So, it makes sense that the astrologers would live up there. And apparently they even considered the fire giants to be their neighbors. I guess they were on pretty decent terms, I don't know. Or they just ignored each other. I mean, that's also a possibility. But I'm pretty sure the Sword of Night and Flame probably suggests more so that they kind of got along, because it seems to incorporate giant flame incantations. So I guess there was some degree of hospitality between them. Now, at some point, the Erd Tree and the Golden Order come into being, or come into their current effect in some regard, and this kind of messes up the cosmos a little bit, or at least the astrologer's ability to perceive or study the cosmos. And as such, astrology kind of fell by the wayside, and we had the advent of glintstone sorcery. And the Carrian royals pretty much are those people. They are the I guess more so they're their family of astrologers, but they've very clearly taken up glintstone sorcery. They're a sorcerer family. I guess of really cool, important sorcerer people. It is of note that the Carrians are separate from Raya Lucaria. They are separate institutions. But the strongest
That's really
bond
confusing.
between the two, it's a little confusing, you know. Yeah, not they seem really interconnected, but that's mostly just because of Renala. So, Renala, of course, was someone born into the Carrian royal family. She was something of an astrologer, studied the stars like pretty much every other sorcerer in the family did. But at one point, she had an encounter with the full moon. Now, this full moon is probably some kind of outer god. Seems quite likely it gets an ending that creates an age outside of the Erd Tree and the Golden Order. Um, Seems to be some kind of cosmic power. If you're able to interact with it, I assume it's some kind of entity. Um, and it is Renala's encounter with the full moon that leads to her creation of the full moon sorcery, the big moon thing that she does, which led to her becoming queen of the Carrion royal family, because I guess if you're the most talented of the potential heirs, that probably makes you the best candidate to eventually take the crown.
It's like any sorcerer family in media. It's like whoever's the most talented or whoever has the most unique shit usually leads up the family.
Yeah, sounds about right. Pretty standard stuff. Um, so the Carrians are separate from Raya Lucaria, but they weren't like closed off from each other because it seemed like Rennala attended Raya Lucaria, and her full moon sorcery was so impressive that it enchanted the Raya Lucarian scholars, and she ended up becoming governor of the academy. So, basically like the principal. She was running the show there. She was just that good. So, because of her, there ended up being a close union between the Carrian royal family and the Academy of Raya Lucaria. And it was pretty much them working together ruling Liurnia, which was effectively, as far as we can tell, basically like an independent state, separate from Lanedell. Even though Lanedell's just a city, but it's like, what else do you want to call the Kingdom of the Erd Tree? Yeah.
Right. It should be said that
We don't have
outside
a
of
name.
Right.
um, it should be said that outside of the castle, the Raya Lucaria castle, it one of the spots there is a town. It specifies that it is a town right next to it.
Yeah.
And it also seems like in the past, Liurnia was more like on just one level with the lakes, but now it just seems
Yeah, now it's sinking into the lakes for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the giant, absurdly big fucking plateau with a giant stone academy on it. Got a bit of a Venice situation going on there. Typler, what do you feel is the implications of the gate town being there? What do you think is significant about that?
Well, it just shows that, like you said, that it used to be a town there. It also possibly implies that perhaps Renala was keeping everything together, perhaps. And ever since their, eventual stuff that happens, they sort of lost that.
Well, I think the town more so is just like there are people living there that aren't part of the academy, but that would probably have been where they would have recruited people from.
Mm,
It's like,
yeah.
hey, you
And
live
now-
outside the giant big magic school. I imagine there were many little Harry Potter children growing up there.
Yeah, and we know of another group connected to Raya Lucaria, which are I think the Cuckoo Knights.
Yeah, that's effectively like the military branch of the academy. I say branch, it's more so like these are a bunch of knights we have working for us. They're kind of assholes. That I'm pretty sure that's one of the defining features of the Cuckoo Knights is that they're kind of terrible. So when the academy sends them to go do stuff, it's just like, yeah, they're gonna do some fucked shit. It is what it is.
You know what I've always wondered?
What?
Can we do about it?
So, in Raya Lucaria, the Stone Mask guys?
Yeah.
Why does that lady in the Volcano Manor also have a stone mask just like it?
No, it's not the stone crown is different from just having a mask. Tanith just has like a metal mask or something. Like that's just a normal face mask. The stone crowns that the Raya Lucarian scholars wear are the visages of previous governors, I think. At least various important people. I don't have all the info on Raya Lucaria. There'll be a Raya Lucaria video in the future when I do more research. But the gist of it is that the stone crowns are like really important people from Raya Lucaria's history. Renala would have
we do see,
presumably gotten one because she has a painting up there with all of the other people that have stone crowns.
Yeah. I was just about to mention that in the room you fight the Red Wolf of Radagon, you see just all the pictures of, assumingly, the various governors of Raya Lucaria.
Right.
You see them all up.
So I guess the gate town is just like this is where the normal people live in Liurnia, because well, not literally everyone in Liurnia is part of the royal family or a member of the academy. This is where the other people live. So, Rennala rules over Liurnia as the full moon queen. Then, the nation of the Erd Tree attacks. A golden host hailing from Leyndell, led by the red-haired Radagon, attack Liurnia, presumably because, well, they're not subservient to the Erd Tree. They serve a different cosmic power, and that's not cool. So naturally we have to have a big religious war over it. It seems like Radagon won the first one, as far as I can tell. Not really clear on what was achieved in the first Liurnian war, but we know in the second one there was a truce, and they made peace, because Radagon and Renala met in battle, and ended up falling in love, as per some sort of, like, old myth. You know, that sounds like a fairy tale story. I guess Radagon just thought that was really hot or something. I've seen a lot of people simping for Renala. I don't really get it that much, but, you know, whatever floats your boat. I guess Radagon's one of those guys. I remember seeing a really funny piece of fan art on Twitter.
He also,
Hold on, I gotta go find it, actually. I thought it was fucking hilarious. Neo, you talk about whatever you were gonna say. I need to find this.
yeah, I don't think it's like any huge, connection, but I do think Radagon could be kind of compared to Artorias due to his whole having the Red Wolf, and that a big part of Artorias is his relationship with Sith. So
I don't know. It seems like we always get a guy whose thing is a wolf.
Yeah, whose thing is a wolf.
Yeah, I never really thought much about a specific connection between the two of them. I've always thought Radagon seems like more of the Artorias guy for this game.
I just thought about something. I'm gonna post something next to the
There's a couple characters who fit that whole. There's a couple people that fit the whole Artorias kind of character arc. Dawn, especially.
I suppose now we just compare everyone cool to Artorias, don't we?
I mean, hey. If it ain't broke, don't fucking fix it.
It shouldn't be this funny.
What is it?
Look in text-to-speech.
Oh god, what is it? What the oh, that's disgusting.
She has that dumb, stupid, pointy hat.
Oh my god. That's horrifying.
Also, I guess we technically do fight Prime Renala.
Okay, we do. Oh, that's what it is. It's a piece of fan art of Radagon hanging out with Renala. My wife said she's letting her weed jar sit out under the Virgo full moon tonight so it can soak up its energy, and then tomorrow we'll smoke a joint of it together. I love mentally ill women. We'll get into mentally ill women in a few minutes when we talk a little bit more about Renala. Well, about her specifically, in the aftermath of things happening. So, her and Radagon get married. They have 3 kids, Rykard, Radon, and Ronnie, and as far as we can tell, they had a happy, loving marriage. At least that's the way Mariel seemed to interpret it, is that things were going well. Seems like some celebrity shit. Speaking of celebrity shit, in typical celebrity fashion, drama happens. Godfrey becomes tarnished, is hounded from the lands between, and Marika's like, I need a new consort. You there, red hair guy, come back here. You may or may not already be a part of me, I don't know. It depends on your interpretation of the statue and law of regression. It kind of implies that Marika is the original form of Radagon, I guess. But there's other information than we went over this in the Radagon video. So he's like, okay, because he's kind of he's a dog. Radagon is a loyal hound to the Golden Order. And if Marika, the person who kind of embodies the Golden Order, and is also literally his boss, tells him, you have to leave your wife to come become my husband, he's gonna be like, okay, I guess. But he leaves Renala with a gift. It's an amber egg that can rebirth people, and a great rune The Rune of the Unborn. I don't know why he would give her either of these things or how he would get them. Maybe it's because he's Marika. But, you know, he does. This does not go over that well. You know, like, imagine you abruptly leave your wife for a hotter woman, and then are like, damn, babe, I'm sorry. Here's this cool rock, I guess. Bye. And then just fucks off. And takes the children. Even though Ronnie... It's not really clear if Ronnie was more hanging out with the Carrians after the shattering happened. She might be. Especially if they didn't know for certain that she was there. Like Roger talks about how, oh, she's probably at the Carrian Manor. And she had a seat in Lanedale. You know, she had a seat at the council. So I guess Ronnie came along too. So he leaves, takes the kids. Oh, and I guess he left his dog there. Thanks.
Bruh.
Yeah.
It's not the dog.
Yeah, left the
his
dog.
there.
Here's
Why
my
you leave
dog.
your
You can
dog?
keep the dog and this cool rock with a funny sign in it. Isn't that nice? Isn't Radagon such a nice guy? No, Radagon's an asshole. He's kind of a
No,
dick.
and I'll take the kids.
Yeah, and he takes the kids. What an inversion. It's literally the opposite of with Godfrey. Godfrey gets kicked out but keeps his pet with him, loses the
Taught that
kids.
dog sorcery.
Who?
Seriously, who the fuck sat down and taught that dog sorcery? That's my.
I don't
only
know,
question
it's just
about the Red
it's a
Wolf.
fat.
It's like,
The other red
who
wolves
said-
do sorcery. Or wolves.
So-
That's how you can tell it's nighttime. I'm bad at grammar.
I probably
I've had a
should
long
have mentioned
day.
this in the Radagon video, right? But that's a red wolf. That
Yeah.
wolf has red hair, and it's a pretty big wolf.
Yeah, you can find some in some other places too. There's one down in the ancestral woods in Nokron.
Damn. was gonna
And I
be like,
think
are
there's
they
another
related
one
to?
somewhere else too.
That's gonna be like secret Radagon kid.
I know there's one. I know there's one when you leave the Three Witches Lake Towers. I know there's one hanging around that cemetery.
Yeah, that's where the other one was. Yeah, and there's probably another one somewhere. But those are the only two non-boss ones that I can think of.
They know magic.
They know how to
Yeah,
do Carrian. What's it called? Carrian Dagger. You know, the basic spell that you get when you start as the prisoner, the like summon sword one. They know that.
Carrian.
But
Interesting.
I don't think they know the red sword attack. I don't think they do.
That's very
They
interesting.
might.
So they all originated from the Carrian Manor.
Maybe, yeah. It's very
I mean,
possible.
they know the sorcery.
Well, then I have to wonder how the fuck did that one get down there into Nokron?
I mean, they're just roaming.
It fell
Like,
through a hole. It fell
had
through a hole.
had children.
There is no hole to fall into until we kill Radon.
It found one. It found one.
We would have done that
No,
instead.
I don't know how.
We would have found a different
yeah.
hole.
Well, maybe prior to it happened prior to
That
the.
just means dogs are built different.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh wait, how did it get into Nara? That's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, Renala, Radagon leaves, and naturally, as what happens when your husband abruptly leaves you for someone else and takes your children with him, she's heartbroken. But not just like sitting around eating ice cream and watching the Real Housewives heartbroken. I mean, like, she kind of loses her fucking mind heartbroken. She kind of goes insane and not necessarily regresses, but like devolves into this very, what's a good word here? What's a good description? She doesn't do anything. She just sits
Basically-
around and like talks to the students that she used the egg of rebirth on, and as a result kind of fucked up from it. Because they didn't use the Great Rune, and when you don't have the Great Rune for that, you get fucked up.
Basically, the Rennala we see is basically just a shell of her former self.
Correct. And the Carrian scholars realize this as well. The way it's described is that when Radagon left, Rennala's heart left with her, and so the scholars realized that she was no champion after all. Now, I have heard an interpretation of this that suggests actually Renala's mental state was kind of degraded anyway, like it was maybe not always, but like it had been getting worse over time, and then Radagon being there like maintained things and kept up an illusion, or maybe there was like a literal illusion like the one cast by Rani. But then when Radagon left, the truth about Rennala was revealed, and everyone was like, "Oh, this lady's kind of insane and useless." Shit. I don't know how likely that is because, well, there's not really any real allusion to that. I feel like the most clear, sometimes we got to use Occam's razor. A lot of people seem to refuse to use Occam's razor in regards to Elden Ring lore. She just lost her mind when her heart was broken. And the Carrian scholars were like, wow, you can't get over a guy leaving you? Are you fucking serious? This is a disgrace. This is embarrassing. We can't have you running things here. So they locked her in the library, and they had the Knights of the Cuckoo go and attack the Carrian Manor because they were like, fuck you guys for having this person be in charge of our institution.
I have something to say slash think, right?
Yes.
So give me one moment as I formulate. Oh yeah, how do we know that it was an illusion by Ronnie? Was it ever stated on a piece of lore or something?
Okay, so we have to talk about this now. Well, as far as we can tell, it's an illusion cast by Ronnie. Because when we beat Rennala in the first phase, there's suddenly like this shadow stuff that shows up, and we hear Ronnie talking. And pretty much Ronnie tells you to fuck off. Leave Rennala alone. She is busy, kind of, technically. Not really. Like, just don't bother her. And go tell everyone about how badass she is. So what it seems like is Ronnie may have placed a spell on the egg, because it seems like it originates from the egg, for the purpose of being like a line of defense against intruders. Because ultimately we get summoned into this like illusion moonlight plane. We fight Rennala, we kill her, but then when the illusion ends, Rennala's fine. Because the version of her that we fought was just an illusion.
Purely defensive.
Right.
I suppose that leads into my second question. She has a shard.
Whoa, hold on. Someone talk first. Who was... I think Neo was going to say something first. Yeah, Neo.
Yeah, we definitely know it's Ronnie 100% because when you get her ending, the whole screen of her ending is very similar to the arena, basically a black void with a rising moon.
Yeah, though the moon's a bit different.
Similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit different, but it's essentially the same arena.
Just to, clarify that is good. And then, secondly, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's a shard bearer, right?
Correct. Though the great rune that she has was given to her by Radagon when he left, and it's contained within the egg.
So, how the fuck did she get a shard?
I don't know. I have no idea. Well, we know Radagon gave it to her, but I don't know. I don't know how Radagon. I just said Radagon gave it to her, but I don't know how Radagon got it.
Oh, the shard?
Yes, the shard, the great rune.
Okay, the shard is the great rune.
Yes, the great runes are shards of the Elden Ring, hence why the people that have them are called shard bearers.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I assumed that it was the remembrances is what it was.
No, the remembrances is basically the Erd Tree being like, boy, this person sure was badass. Here's a little wood carving we generated of them. Somehow.
Yeah.
Even though it can do that for Renala, even though she's not dead. Everyone else that we do it for, they get killed.
She's only dead emotionally.
Yeah. Well, that explains how, if someone is important enough, I guess just the runes that they've collected are able to leave an imprint on the Erd Tree or something. I don't know. I don't remember the exact explanation for remembrances, but that's pretty much what it is the Erd Tree, because it's supposed to be where souls are recycled, even though you can get it from the Omen guys who that doesn't happen to, and you get it from an illusion that doesn't have a soul. Is basically just like, yeah, these people were so fucking cool and awesome that they left like an imprint of themselves on the Erd Tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's Rennala. I don't think we have much else to say about her. I don't think. I was
Yeah.
worried. I was very
Funny
concerned.
magical divorce woman.
Yeah, the funny magic divorce woman. Some people find her really hot. When you really analyze like her anatomy, you realize it's kind of weird. Her proportions are very strange.
Oh yeah. One more thing. We totally do not help with her depression. We continue to, depending on which ending you get, you kill 2 of her children and marry the 3rd one.
Yeah. Well, and you go and you kill her ex-husband.
Okay, I mean that's a pro, I guess.
And no, I don't know, because she probably wants him back.
Yeah.
She can do better.
She can do better. Remember, ladies, if your man leaves you to go marry another woman and also merge with her, you can do better. You don't need a man like that in your life. You can find someone else. Anyway, yeah, that's Renala. I was really worried about preparing for this video because I was like doing the notes. I write like my bullet points on the document so I know what to talk about. And I'm like, shit, there's really not a lot. I feel like I'm missing something. As far as I can tell, no, Renala is just a pretty simple character. Not the most important person in the world.
I like her concept. But she's kind of a character.
Yeah, well, she's there. Anyway, next time we're going to talk about the Ancient Dragon, so that should be a lot of fun. I have no idea how long that video is going to be, because I'm typing out the notes for that as well, and it's not that long, which is why I'm going to have to do some more research. I'm going to be playing a bit tonight, which will be yesterday by the time that you're watching this. So, you know, go watch that stream VOD, I guess, if you're interested in looking at that. I don't know. Yeah, the next few episodes are going to be focusing on the enemies of the Erd Tree. So we're going to be talking about the Ancient Dragons, the Fire Giants, the Godskin Apostles, and the Black Knife Assassins. In that order. So, you know, if you're interested in those episodes, definitely be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of them. We'll be recording them sometime within the next few days. And you should also check out my Patreon to get early access to those whenever I make them. Generally, I try to have those up about a week before they come out on YouTube. So hopefully I won't fall behind with that. So with that, that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. If you enjoy discussing Elden Ring with other people, or maybe you want to join in on one of these videos in the future, check out my Discord. There's a link to it down in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys around. Take care. Bye-bye.